Hello, hello, hello. Have you been keeping? I've been sort of looking through feeds and all my pages today, and the palpable sense of disillusionment. It's widespread and justifiably so. I think that yesterday's address by the president essentially sort of snuffed out a lot of hope that people were sort of holding on to, even though it's very fragile hope that they were holding on to. However, and as cold as it may sound, life goes on. We live to fight another day. And I think that what I've been seeing, people saying it's time to go back to the drawing board, it's time to strategize. That's the correct response to what is going on. Not to give up, but to re strategize. At least now there's a better understanding of the enemy that we're all facing at home and abroad. Because once you're Nigerian, it doesn't matter where you are, you can't shake that label that other people have of you, of corruption, of fraud, and we need to change that narrative. And so I'm proud of the youth. I'm proud of the protest. I'm proud also for the wisdom that is starting to emerge. And also heartfelt condolences to people who have lost family, children. I cannot imagine how devastating these few days have been for you. And I just pray the comfort and the peace of God to mantle you in a way that nobody can. Today, I want to talk about the number one block that over and over again stops people from even attempting to achieve their dreams. It's the one thing that I dare say 100% of people will identify with. And how it impacts us obviously then depends on, how we're made up, our personalities, our upbringing, our experiences, etc. But it's just one thing that is actually common to everyone. And so I'm going to just start my slides so that we can get a sense of what's happening here today. So, is this keeping you from your dreams? What is this thing that you're talking about? I firmly believe that all of us, without exception, each and every one of us we are a gift to the world. We're not just we're not an afterthought, we're not a byproduct or something. We're not even, how in movies that you have main characters and you have wakapas, you have the extras. No, each and every one of us has a part to play. And I always like to think like this: even if you feel that you are cast in an extra, as an extra in this whole grand scheme, without the extras, without the people in the background, without all of those people that we see that we don't hear from, the movie will not have any context. It literally would just be five people doing their own thing without context, and it would not have the depth that it could have if the extras were there also participating. So we all have a gift. Sometimes some other people's gifts looks shinier and bigger than ours, like this diamond in the picture. However, when it comes to thinking about the reward, especially as the Bible helps us to understand, we all get the same reward. If we stay on our path and we run our race, at the end, the reward is the same. Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into your rest. There's no bigger rest, a smaller rest. For as long as you run your race and you do the part that God has given you, gifted you, graced you to do, your reward is sure, your reward is secure. However, a lot of us don't have the confidence, don't we face a block that like I've said is common to all, and some of us are able to surmount it while some of us are not able to surmount it. And I'm sure you're wondering, what is this block that we're talking about? Before I start I go to the block, I'll give you a hint. I grew up, this is a soundtrack to my growing up. My father always every morning is either we listen to Ebenezer Obey or a bit of Sunny Ade. Um, back in the late 70s, and every morning, even at my parties, my dad will sort of, put, so I grew up with the morals of that were taught in these songs, especially with the incomparable Ebenezer Obey. um Grew up with those morals guiding us as well in life. And so the brief journey I'm about to take you on has something to do with something he sang and this little cute guy. Because the number one block that you and I must get over in order to fully realize our life's potential is, if you're around my age range, you've already guessed it. But I'm still going to keep you in suspense as we go on this journey. So, Ebenezer Obey sang this song that is known as the Kete Kete song. And the story goes that a man and his son decide to go on a journey. At that time, there were no automobiles, and it was common to travel long distance with luggage on a donkey. So the man and his son set out on this journey together. So the big circle is the father, and the small circle is the son, and that little pink semicircle will be our donkey for this story. So as they progressed on their journey, father and son sat on the donkey with their luggage, and they started to go. And then they bumped into a set of people, and they looked at the man and his son on the donkey and said, "What wicked people! How can both of you expect this poor donkey to bear your weight? And they're going on this long journey with all this baggage?" So after they said that, the father and the son look at each other and they think, "Oh, it's true, poor donkey." And they alight from the donkey and start to think of, okay, so what do we do next? In the culture that I grew up in, it is common for the elder to be allowed to sit while the younger stands, or for the elder to be given preference. And so it was very understandable that the next move was that the man got on the donkey, and the son started to walk alongside him, and they continued on their journey happily until they bumped into another set of people who had another set of opinions. And this time it was like, what an inconsiderate man. How can you be traveling on the donkey while you let your son suffer walking on foot? The man stops and thinks about it and thinks, okay, maybe the right thing to do is not for him to be on the donkey and his son to be walking. And since he's had a turn on the donkey, how about his son get on the donkey? And they exchanged position and they continued on their journey. But they didn't go very far before they bumped into another bunch of people with another set of opinions. How disrespectful. How can a father be walking on foot and a child ride on a donkey? What is this world coming to? And this is the third set of opinions, and I'm thinking that this father and son are not really getting far on their journey, because again they have to alight from the donkey and they have to process, okay, so what else are we going to do to continue this journey? So they both get off the donkey with their luggage, and they continue their journey. It didn't take very long for them to bump into another set of people who had another set of opinions. "You fools," they said. "How can you have a donkey and not ride on top of it with your luggage? I mean, the donkey is called a beast of burden for a reason." And there you have it. He concludes the story by saying very, very succinctly, there is no wisdom that you can craft. There is no perfect behavior that you can exhibit. There is no path in life that you can take that everybody will be happy. And so for some of you listening to me right now, What will they say is the number one block keeping you from achieving your potential in life. And here's what I have to say to you today: let them say. Because each and every time you let what people will say stop you from doing what you know to do, you are in disobedience to the one that sent you. You are missing out on an opportunity for that God has created to bless you. And you are also depriving people that you have been sent to the opportunity to be blessed by you serving in that gift, in that gifting that you have been given by God. People will always judge you. So that's just get that mindset that there's absolutely nothing that you can do, that you will do, that everybody will be happy with you. It is not possible. And so knowing that is empowering. And guess what? It's something I like to say. It's what the Bible says: "My sheep hear my voice." Once you step up and you show up in that gifting that God has gifted you with, has blessed you with, the people that you are called to, and the people that are called to you, will come to you, will find you, they will hear your voice, and they will come to you. Just like people that follow my page, or people that I follow, it's the same thing. You hear their voice and you follow them, which is also one of the reasons that it's good to, if you can, show up on a video, show up live, interact with people, let them hear your voice. Your voice is powerful. For some people, their voice is, they don't want to be on a video, they want to be heard. So, we have people on podcasts that have humongous followings because people that they are called to and people that they are called to them hear their voice. There's some people, it's in the craft that they're able to access to gift to the world, to serve the world with. It doesn't matter what it is that you have been gifted to do. It doesn't have to be a vocal gift. However, it is important for you to speak up and let people know what you're doing, so that the people that you have been called to and the people that are called to you can be drawn to you, so you can be drawn to each other. So today I want to leave with you: people will say, people will judge you. Not everybody will be happy with you. And guess what? That's all right. At the end of the day, I always say like this: you need enemies for God to prepare a table before you in front of, when you come into the fullness of that thing that you have been called, gifted, graced, blessed to do. My name is Abiola George, and I thank you for listening. And I hope that you follow my page, so that especially if you feel that the message that you have heard today resonates with you. My calling, I believe, is pulling out what was on the inside of you, and by the grace of God, there are hundreds of testimonies to that. People have come back to me to say thank you for helping me to identify that one thing, or for bringing clarity in this area, not for profit, but it's just a gift that I have been given. And I pray that you, after listening to this, that you go on to do something tremendous, and you will come back and give a testimony to. God bless you.